Okay, so here's the deal, my Jesus. The people at Ebony, yes, ebony.com, the famous magazine that's been around since forever. Your mama used to read Ebony, bitch. Ebony posted an article titled Petition Surfaces in Protest of YouTube Personality Tommy Sotomayor. YouTube personality seems to have finally crossed the line. Now, Sylvia Snowden posted the article on April 4th of 2017. Now, I know what a lot of y'all may be thinking. Meat Magazine, you're late as hell. What took you so freaking long, to bring this article to us? Or we already heard of it, so, why are you up here telling us about it now after all this time? And it's like, look, man, it's better late than never. I know I'm later than some of you heifers, periods, but, at least I'm bringing the information to you, my Jesus. So here's the deal, my Lord. Let me go ahead and read to you this article that Ebony posted. Sylvia Snowden. Isn't she from WikiLeaks, or is that somebody else? Matter of fact, let me go look up what Sylvia Snowden looks like real quick, out of curiosity. Let me see if she's a hair-hatted hooligan. No, let me go see what this lady looks like real quick before I even say anything. Let me see if she looks anything like the type of people that Tommy Sotomayor loves to make fun of. My Jesus. Okay, I'm at trulysylvia.com. At the About Me page. Whoa, she fine as hell. Oh, shit. Anyways, yeah, I ain't gonna say anything bad about her. She fine as... I'm about to slide up in her DMs, my Lord. Let me see if it says anywhere up here that she's married. Let me see whether or not she's married. She was my motherfucking thirst. I know Tommy wanted to holler at her ass, too. Anyways, let me go ahead and... yeah. Anyway, wish me luck. About to cover myself with lotion and slide up in the DMs. Anyways, here's what the article says. Shoot, I'll get back to that when I'm done with this. Anyways, she wrote, YouTube personality Tommy Sotomayor rose to fame by dumping on black women in social media. It's so dishonest from the beginning. He talks shit about black people. I mean, he posted a goddamn picture of Trayvon Martin's dead body, a teenager, a minor. But we go to he's anti-black woman route. He's anti-black people in general. But you making fun of black women's hair is worse than making fun of black men's dead bodies. Remember this, black men. The black woman's hair and her ego is worth more than your life itself. That's what we're learning so far. This is fun. This is going to be a fun one. YouTube personality Tommy Sotomayor. Excuse me, I read that incorrectly. YouTube personality Tommy Sotomayor, the way he says it, rose to fame by dumping on black women in social media videos. Some of the gems you can find in his YouTube channel include: name the only race of women willing to stand in line for hours to buy bundles of other humans' hair. Is that true or is it false, ladies? Black chicks start pound caking each other in the middle of the street. And Tommy Sotomayor explains how black women are openly beggars when dating. I'm sorry. That shit is actually hilarious. That is actually a funny title. If it was said about black men, I would laugh too. I just think that sounds funny. Openly beggars. Like, what does that mean? I would have to go listen to what he had to say. Now, it appears that Tommy Sotomayor needs Thomas Jerome Harris. Ooh, that's a ninja name. Thomas Jerome Harris. May have badmouthed black women just one too many times, as the fight is now on to have any and all his channels, videos, and promos permanently removed from YouTube. A change.org petition, I'm going to read what it says to you in a minute, is circulating to get Sotomayor's videos scrubbed from the site, citing the, quote, incalculable amounts of emotional, psychological, and physical harm Sotomayor's videos have inflicted on black women and girls. Pause the story. What physical harm has it caused? Now, if you want to say that he's caused psychological harm or emotional harm, sure. I mean, if you're dumb enough to sit up there and listen to what this idiot has to say, sure, it can cause those things. I mean, if you really give a crap about what Tommy said, think about it. The guy, how many children does Tommy have, and how many of them are outside of wedlock? I think all of them. I'm pretty sure. The guy is worse than a hypocrite. He's a joke. He's just like the black women that he talks about. He's no different. Okay. But anyways, the petition is asking YouTube, Google co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin, Eric Schmidt, who serves as the executive chairman of the board of directors for Alphabet Incorporation, and Google CEO Sundar Pichai, to be, quote, responsible and stop providing a platform for Sotomayor to, quote, purposely denigrate and demean black women and girls and black people in general. Oh, wow. They thought about black men at the very end of that sentence. Thank you so much, black women. You care so much about us. You're so pro-black female. You mentioned black people. Why not just say black? Why not just say purposely denigrate and demean black people? Because that's what he's doing. Why put black women and girls first? And as you can see, they put women before the girls. That's very telling and very disturbing. I think we need to start putting our children first. One of the things that Tommy Sotomayor does say that's actually right is that black women brag about being the most educated while black children are the least educated. That's actually pretty embarrassing, and it's disgusting. Now, that's something we really need to take seriously, people. Seriously. In addition to the standard discussed surrounding Sotomayor's content, the petition's authors also allege that his message has now, quote, escalated beyond criticizing black women and now includes, quote, threats of physical violence on the street toward black women. First of all, Tommy Sotomayor's been talking big shit for years. Did y'all now just hip to this? There was this one video in particular where he was being hella nosy. As a matter of fact, I'll save that story to the end of this article. Let me just, all right, I had to cut my microphone off for a second there and save myself a note real quick. So then that way I don't forget to mention this. Quote, threats of physical violence on the street toward black women. They've asked the content be removed from the site before it leads to actual harm against black women. Let me just go back to make sure I read this correctly, to make sure I'm not tripping. I feel like I'm in the freaking Twilight Zone right now, my Jesus. Let me go back and find it. Okay, let me see. Where's it at? Okay, go back. Ooh, is it at the beginning or okay? Okay, I found it. I'm going to go back in the article real quick. A change.org petition is circulating to get Sotomayor's video scrubbed from the site, citing the, quote, incalculable amounts of emotional, psychological, and physical harm, end quote, Sotomayor's videos have inflicted on black women and girls. Once again, emotional, psychological, and physical harm. Then later on in the article, they said, they've asked the content be removed from the site before it leads to actual harm against black women. Cheddar cheese. Which one is it, Sally? Has he caused physical harm or not? You see, this is the whole thing. I don't like Tommy Sotomayor. Everybody knows that. I've been asking this clown to debate me for years now because he's full of crap. And I have some stuff that I've been promoting the ideal of us having this discussion called the final ether for years now, because I feel as if I'm the person that could basically destroy Tommy Sotomayor in a debate. You know, just a friendly debate. Just very friendly, very light, just real light. I feel like I have some information and the right questions to ask and the right things to say that'll make Tommy Sotomayor's head spin. I feel as if Tommy is a disingenuous a-hole. A lot of stuff that he says is pure BS. A lot of stuff he says is true, including a lot of stuff he says about black women and black people. A lot of stuff that he said in general. A lot of stuff he says is actually not a lie, not made up. My issue with Tommy is when he flat out blatantly lies, when he exaggerates the fact that he has children outside of wedlock himself, the fact that he basically said flat out that he ain't sugar honey iced tea. He ain't. He goes around, he sleeps with all these women, and he uses his money as a way to, in my personal opinion, to kind of buy people, like buy friendship or have leverage over people. You know, I feel as if he's basically a snake. And, you know, I feel as if I am the one person that could put an end to the foolishness. And I don't want to get rid of Tommy. What I want to do is I want to have an intelligent and friendly debate with Thomas and show him that he's not as smart as he thinks he is. And I'm not saying I'm a damn genius myself. The only thing I'm saying is this. If that ever happens, if this friendly debate ever happens, you'll see what I mean. He has more holes than Swiss cheese in a lot of his stories. And I just want to plug up those holes. I want to cork those holes. Pause. I know this sounds kind of nasty, but y'all know what I mean, my Jesus. Anyways, Back to the article. Because that was some BS right there. The part about it causing actual harm when the article had already previously. I wonder if Tommy Sotomayor is going to sue. Maybe not Ebony, but I mean somebody in general. Because, you know, he does have freedom of speech. My main issue is when Tommy Sotomayor is lying, blatantly making stuff up. And the fact that he's worse than a hypocrite. He's just a joke. And the fact that he's threatened people. He's put personal information out there. And it was something. What else did this idiot do? He harassed and threatened people. You know, he keeps breaking the rules. That's my issue with Tommy. I don't give a damn about his language and the fact that he's so crazy and over the top. The fact that he, you know, makes fun of weaves and relaxes. So what, Lynn? Let him have his fun. Let him vent. Okay? We all vent. I mean, we have black women running around saying things like abort all black male babies. I've literally heard black women say this on YouTube. And, you know, and black men are not trying to take those women down. So let him have his freedom of speech. Now, when he actually goes too far, then that's one thing. As far as him talking about weaves and relaxes and stupid stuff like that, I mean, it's like, really? I mean, I've never seen him post the picture of a dead female teenager and then ridicule them. I mean, he did post I think he posted a picture of Emmett Till's dead body as well, along with Trayvon Martin. Separate videos. I'm pretty sure. Don't hold me to it, but for sure he did post a picture of Trayvon Martin's dead body. I think it's still up there on YouTube. How the hell is that allowed? That's what we need to be discussing. If anybody should be mad at Tommy Sotomayor, it should be black men for the stuff that he's done to us. And I know that black females don't particularly care about black men's minds and feelings and things like that. You know, I know this is a mute point, but for the people who do actually, for the couple, for the two black women on planet Earth that care, I figured I would throw that in there. My Jesus. Anyway, back to the article. Don't anybody tell me that I say my Jesus and my Lord too much. You don't like it? Don't listen. Hush your mouth. Say whatever I want. There's rules to this thing, and I don't break the rules. Now, hush. Back to the petition story. And then I'm going to tell you about this one video that Tommy posted that really pissed me off, where he said some stuff to these black women for no good reason. And it really boiled my blood. It's one of the reasons why I want to debate this clown. Anyways, the petition seems to be gaining traction. Around the time this article was published, 8,960 supporters had signed on to have the channels removed, a little under the petition's 10,000 signature goal. A petition update indicates that several of Sotomayor's channels have already begun to be removed from the site, and that must really suck for him. What? Is this a professional? Oh, then again, that's right. She did say that that it, you know, some crap about black women being harmed, and then she started talking about how there's the potential of it happening. So, and that must really suck for him. This is an Ebony.com article. Interesting, very interesting language. But I have to admit that I really don't feel bad for him at all. In fact, what I actually hope is that Tommy's learning something new about black women. We may stand in line, quote, for our bundles, but what we're absolutely not going to stand for, Jesus Christ, is the base degradation of ourselves, our mothers, and our daughters for his personal, social, and financial gain. Woo, have you watched TV lately? No, they won't go after white men. I know that they won't. How do you like us now, Tommy? I tell you what, put it in your next YouTube video. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, never mind. Well, Tommy Sotomayor still has dozens of channels on YouTube, so he's still around. And mark my words, you black women that are going after him with this personal vendetta, turning into this battle with the sexes BS as if you're white women, trying to battle with black men, you're going to regret this, because Tommy Sotomayor has done something actually very intelligent, which was going after black women. And I'm going to tell you why. And you know what? Let me tell you something. Tommy Sotomayor, you black women are going to really regret this, because the only thing he's going to do is this. Tommy Sotomayor is going to be forced to not be as independent as he has been. And he's going to end up just working for some company, signing up to work for and with some conservatives, because technically Tommy is a conservative, whether he admits it or not. He's not really, well, he's like a neocon. They call him neoconservative. They're kind of conservative. They're really liberal. It's some weird sort of mishmash thing. But what Tommy's going to do is he's just going to end up working with some conservatives, and they're going to write him a big check, probably make him a millionaire overnight if he isn't one already. And you're going to regret that, because there's other ways that you could have dealt with him. What you should have done is have an intelligent debate, since black women are so educated. have an intelligent debate, and crush them that way with the truth and logic. Because this emotionalism is going to fail. Even if you got rid of Tommy from YouTube, do you not understand that YouTube is one website? You're going to chase him around forever? And like I said, the only thing you're going to do is put money in his pocket, because he's working independently now. Somebody who has more money than him, I promise you, will sign him up to say the same things and possibly worse. Whether you realize it or not, going after Tommy Sotomayor the way you're going about it is a waste of time and effort and energy. You could be doing something much more positive than this, like helping young black children who are in screwed up situations at home and stuff. You got all these runaways in DC talking about missing girls. BS. People think they're being child trafficked. No, they ran away from home. One of the little black girls was found or turned herself in or whatever, and she said, we want out. As in, we want out of our single mother homes, because of the foolishness that was going on there. And instead of putting your time, energy, and focus, your love, your passion into helping these children, you're going after this clown. I don't like Tommy either. He's ridiculous. A lot of things he says are just so stupid. I look at Tommy as being a comedian, which is what he is. He's an entertainer. Some of the things he say bother me. Yes, absolutely. I've been offended by this clown many times. And whenever I have to go to one of his videos for information because everybody's talking about a particular subject or whatever it may be, hell yeah, I'll give Tommy the thumbs down. I don't like that sucker. I don't even damn want no damn Tommy Sotomayor. I'm not his friend. I'm not his fan. But to discount the things that he says that are truthful is dishonest and disingenuous. So why don't we just admit that Tommy Sotomayor is like a broken clock, right twice a day, and the rest of the hours out of the day he's usually wrong. But you guys are just putting a battery in his back. You're just charging up Tommy. I'm trying to tell you, man, you're gonna really regret this, because you got to understand. Here's what Tommy Sotomayor did that was just so intelligent. Then I'm gonna tell you about that video real quick. The one that he posted that really pissed me off and was part of the reason. It's like a couple years or so ago. A lot of you may remember this video. It really made me want to have to debate this guy for something that he said to some innocent black women. It really, really bothered me, really boiled my freaking blood. But let me just say this. Black females have bashed black males for decades with talk shows, radio shows, books, etc., etc. There was this one woman who wrote a book called something to the effect of, is it called Why Every Black Woman Should Marry a Jewish Man, or something dumb like that? Oh my God. Just god awful, just stupid stuff, man. As a matter of fact, she was on like a radio show or something, and they were asking her about like what would, make a man unqualified for marriage. And she said something to the effect of, well, actually, they asked her like what makes a man a scumbag, because she spoke about scumbags in her book, and she said men who don't complete college, if I'm not mistaken, are scumbags, like the number one thing. And I'm like, what? So because you didn't finish college, that makes you a scumbag. It makes you like less of a person. I mean, it's ridiculous stuff. Just so over the top. Basically, like Tommy's rhetoric, equivalent to Tommy's BS, but coming from a black woman's mouth. Black women have said a lot of crazy stuff collectively. And what y'all need to understand is this. What you're seeing now on YouTube with some of these guys who are expressing their opinions is just the backlash from the decades of black women going on different media formats, platforms, if you will, since that word is being thrown around like crazy nowadays. I hate if I hear another black woman talking about this gender war crap and mentions platforms, I'm going to freaking throw up. Like literally every time I hear one of these black women say platforms, I just want to hit my head with a platform shoe. But anyways, my Jesus, this is the thing, man. A lot of black women have said a lot of just crazy stuff over the decades about black men, or they're dead, gay, in jail, just all sorts of stupid stuff. There's more black men in college than there are men in jail. If you look at the actual population, what is it like? Is it 40 million black people? Is it like 22 million black females, 20 million black males, something like that? And there's only like 2 million or so, 2 or 3 million people approximately in jail. So the numbers don't add up. Most black males are not in jail because we're talking about the total prison population, 2 to 3 million people, approximately over around 20 million black males. Yeah. Yeah. None of it adds up. What else? You see dead. Oh, a fraction. Yeah. Literally black men die at a higher number, but the same percentage as everybody else from homicides, which is a fraction of 1% every year. A fraction of a percent, not even a percent. You might say, well, they don't die at the same percent because you die. No, it's a higher number, but it's literally the same percent because it's a fraction of one. It's not like black men die at 1% and other people die from homicides at a fraction of a percent. No, everybody's a fraction of a percentage. Yes, it's a higher number, but it's literally the same percentage, which is a fraction of a percentage. It's not even 1%. So, what's the other one? Oh, black men are gay. What is it? 1 to 3% of the population is gay. 1 to 3% approximately estimated is homosexual. So, yeah, a lot of black females have been saying a lot of just untrue things that just don't make any sense. And a lot of black men are just fed up and they're like, well, you know what? It's our time to speak. And the only thing that these black women are going to do is force these black men to basically build their own media. And then you're going to be really sorry because then what black women are going to do, which is just like with everything else, like when black men come up with a new dance or black men wanted to rap and then black women a lot of times imitated the black male rappers that came before them. What black women are going to do is say, well, we'll build our own media. Because whatever black women see a black man having, it's like, they're like, wait a second, if they have this, then we must have it too. Like, black women don't skip a beat. They will not let a black man have anything without them saying, you know what, we must have it too. And that's just petty. What should have happened a long time ago is that black people should have come together as a whole, as one, and built their own media. So much time has been wasted. And as much as I don't like this clown Thomas, going after him is honestly just wasting time. And the only thing you're going to do is make him a lion with white people. And it's only just going to make him much more popular. Could you imagine if Tommy became like the black Bill O'Reilly? This fool may literally get his own Fox News show within the next year or two. Oh my God. Oh, I feel sick just thinking about it. Could you imagine him being blasted in 100 plus million homes with the media, the force and the power of the media behind him? Do you black women know what the hell you're doing with your... Oh my God. And everybody's going to blame y'all for this shit if it does happen. Remember, Tommy is intelligent. He's also talented and charismatic. He's funny. But he's nowhere near as smart as he thinks he is. That's why somebody like me, who talks about reality TV, wants to debate this clown. Because I know that I could destroy him. Easily. And the way that I would debate him, basically, I would hit him with some cold hard facts, with the right rebuttals, and ask the right questions, to the point where he wouldn't be able to repeat a lot of the foolishness that he's saying now. And that's the way you do. You have to outthink people. You got to outmaneuver them, outsmart them. Tommy's not all that. See, the thing is that Tommy combines his talents with the fact that he is very charismatic and actually very funny at times. And he combines that with that anger, that vitriol that gets people's attention, that loud voice and that, that cattiness that he has, that draws people in because they're like, look at this raving lunatic. It's interesting. It's a freak show. It's a car accident. So everybody's looking. They're like, what's this mess? So a lot of people who are watching are not watching because they necessarily agree with him. It's entertaining. And black women are making the very, very freaking foolish mistake of taking what he says personally. And you'll say, well, Me Magazine, he's talking about black women. No, he kind of talks about everybody. Have you ever heard this? He slips some very interesting things in there about white people sometime, where I'm like, whoa, did he just say that about white people? I wonder if they're going to come after him. He's also said some things about Jews. Well, Jews are, Judaism is a religion, but you know what I mean. Since people view them as being separate from, because most so-called Jews are Caucasian. But he said some things about Jewish people that made me say, like, are you sure you want to say that, Tommy? And a lot of black women take what he says personally about them because they feel as if a black man should not be critical of a black woman at all. And what I'm trying to tell y'all is it's just going to get worse. If you think that things are bad now, you have no idea. Because you're trying to exalt female privilege that non-black females have. And you're foolishly forgetting the most important part of the whole equation, which is that you're black. A lot of these black women think that non-black people are on their side because they have co-workers at their job that they're friends with or other whatever connections that they have to Caucasoids. And they think that Caucasian people are going to have their back, but you're deceiving yourself. Because at the end of the day, non-black people really collectively don't give a crap about you. They have their own thing going. They have their own problems as well. And honestly, black women, they don't freaking care. They really, really don't. And it has nothing to do with you being black female. It's because you're black. That's what you don't get. You're like, well, black females have it particularly hard. Well, actually, with all the dead black men and the way that black men are painted in the media, despite whatever the truth may be about them, the fact that black men are just decimated in the media for little to nothing. I mean, there was a football player that they called a thug. Not because he did anything that was thuggish. I mean, do you know what the word thug means? I remember I read in the dictionary, it said something about the Thuggee tribe in India that slashed throats and raped women. And they call this man a damn thug in the media. Because, wait, what was his name? Sherman or something? I forget what he did. I don't know if it was something that he said. I forget what it was. But it wasn't anything worthy of being called. He didn't commit some crime, and he sure as hell wasn't raping women and slashing throats like the dictionary talks about. He surely wasn't acting like somebody from the Thuggee tribe in India. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. You really don't understand. It's like if you black women had to deal with what black men have to deal with as far as image and the things that are said in the media and stuff like that, woo, you wouldn't last a day. What you have to deal with is absolutely nothing. At least, they feel like they can work with you and stuff like that. At least, well, you count as a double minority. So, of course, they feel like it's benefiting them. Less Negroes around. One black woman equals 2 black men they would have to hire. So, and also, they don't, at the end of the day, non-black people, particularly white people, do not want to compete with black men. The ultimate insult is when a black man beats them at something. You might say, well, what about sports? They have no problem with filling the leagues with Negroes. Oh, please. They've already told you a million times in the media that people are separated to 2 groups. People who are physical and people who are mental or cerebral. Therefore, they said these black men are just a body with no mind any damn way. So this whole, well, black men can beat us in sports. What they really mean when they say that is we beat them mentally anyway, so we control them. Remember, the mind controls the body. So it's actually an insult, this whole sports analogy. Like, well, black men dominate other people in sports, so therefore, everybody has their own gift. Oh, you just happen to have the gift of the mind, right? Which makes you mentally superior to black men. Really, really insulting. But, some people don't know when they're being insulted. But anyways, I'm not a sports fan. I don't give a crap about sports. But yeah, as far as platforms, so-called, are concerned, a lot of black women, particularly the feminist or womanist types, which, oh, by the way, I interviewed Cola Booth like a year or 2 ago. Well, I think it was a couple years ago. She happens to be a womanist. And I mean, the mind of some of these women, I just don't gel with. I just can't co-sign a lot of this stuff, man. It's too much separation. I look at black people as a whole, and a lot of black men look at Tommy Sotomayor and think he's a freaking joke. That's why a lot of black men are just sitting back like, why would you want to get rid of him? He's an idiot. I listen, black women a lot of times react with emotion and don't know how to make the best of a bad situation. The circumstance that we're in, having Tommy Sotomayor around, is actually a plus for black people, because at times you may have, to face racism on a job or something like that, or in life, a racist cop may bother you. I talked about this years ago on YouTube, why I love the fact that people like Tommy Sotomayor are around. The fact that Tommy Sotomayor is saying the things that he says is proof that there are racist black people, as in black people who are racist against other black people, that will do whatever they can to hurt you, until they will wish harm on you. They will do the most extreme things. He is an example who has provided thousands of hours of his BS material to prove that there are black people who hate black people. Black women are making the foolish mistake of separating us by gender. You do not have that luxury. We do not have the numbers, and you don't have the answer sway. And when you black women imitate black men, because I promise you, black men are going to build their own platforms. That's coming real soon. Starting this year in 2017, mark my words, in my 2018 and 2019, you'll see what I mean. And a lot of black women have fooled themselves into believing that black men can't build anything. Just like I've heard black women say stupid stuff like, well, black men have never done anything for black women. Really? Are you perfectly sure about that? You're saying that in the history of humanity, black men have never, ever done anything for black women. You do know that makes you a liar, right? You do know that you're just completely over exaggerating. That's sheer foolishness. And you're also giving non-black men too much credit. Because the one thing that non-black feminists have over black feminists is that they're consistent. They hate all men. Or at least all straight men. Black women have fooled themselves into thinking that they could be a feminist, but be this fringe group of feminists who don't hate all men, who love gay men and love non-black men, but just hate straight black men. And that's why regular feminists don't fuck with you. Because what help are you to them? You got your own thing going. And it's some weird personal vendetta against straight black men. And they're looking at you like, what the hell? Non-black women are like, listen, we need to snatch these finances and these resources and whatnot. Actual physical, tangible, material things from these men. They're like, I'm going to take his mansion. I'm going to take his business. When I say take it, I don't mean take it down like just take down Tommy and that's the end of it. No, take it. It's mine now. They're out here robbing mofos. Taking them to court, marrying rich men and taking their stuff, taking the children, taking everything. And these black women are like, forget the materials. We just want to fight. And you wonder why the feminists don't like you. Because what are you fighting over? Emotions and words and just stupid stuff. It's like battle rap. Everybody talks their mess. Everybody gets what they got to say off their chest. Everybody speaks their mind. And the crowd cheers and watches the slaughter and the carnage. But what do you really get out of it? It's just a bunch of yelling. And that's why non-black feminists don't help out black feminists when you're in trouble now. Because they look at you as just doing a bunch of yelling. They're fighting to get something. You're fighting to get into something. They're fighting to take something. You're fighting to take people down. They're fighting to hold on to something. You're holding on to anger and emotions. And the one thing that non-black feminists have learned is to act like a man and think like a man with logic over emotion. I can't stand Tommy Sotomayor. I've left the nastiest comments in his comment section, but I do not flag his videos. I won't do it. I wouldn't waste my time. I have asked him to debate me more than once, and he blocked me on Twitter on his old Twitter account. And the other one that he's using right now, he blocked me on this one recently as well. I think it was in March of 2017. Or if not in February, I'm pretty sure it was in March. Tommy is scared to debate me. He will battle with people who have 500 subscribers. I mean, look at me. He's willing to debate with people who have 500 subscribers, but a guy who has, about 56,000 subscribers, he doesn't want to touch. He could open himself up to my audience. People who are into reality TV and things, entertainment. It'd be a great thing for him. It's nowhere near as many as he has. But the point is this, though. Why is he so scared to debate me? Why is he so scared to mention my name? What is it about me? And it's not like I'm some sort of a physical threat, because I'm not that type of person. I'm not some thug or something stupid like that. I'm not some idiot. The truth of the matter is I don't talk like those idiots that he's used to debating with. Tommy is used to getting into arguments. I'm not an overly emotional person. I know how to control my emotions in most situations. But I am human. Sometimes I do get angry, just like everybody else. But if Tommy Sotomayor battled me, if he debated with me, I guarantee you it will be the final ether. Because once I'm done picking apart the foolishness that he has to say live on air, because a couple years or so, what is like 2014, he did say, Meat Magazine, call into my show. Call into my show and debate me since you got so much to say. Guess what? I never called in. I said, now why would I call into this fool's show where he has control of my microphone, like calling into or going on Fox News, and they could just shut my mic off, cut off my voice, and then I wouldn't be able to say anything. I said, I'm not going to let that crap happen to me. Not in a million years. I'm not going to let Tommy Sotomayor upstage me by turning my freaking microphone off, and I don't get a chance to express my opinions and pick apart the stupid stuff that he says. There's a lot of stuff he says that's just so freaking ridiculous. I just sit back and I'm like, oh my God. It would be so easy to just destroy him without getting catty, without calling names, without getting overly emotional. Ooh, I would just give me 30 minutes with this clown live on the radio. But this is the thing, though. He won't debate me on a neutral platform. He just blocks me whenever I pop up. He never blocks me on YouTube, but he blocks me on other social media sites. So yeah, he won't debate me. He refuses to. He refuses to acknowledge me at this point. I'm just a reality TV blogger. What does he have to worry about? What you got to worry about, Tom? What you got to worry about? Huh? That's what y'all need to be asking him. Why is Tommy so freaking scared to debate with Meat Magazine? That's the real question that you need to ask. All right? Another thing we need to discuss is the fact that a lot of people have had falling outs with Tommy. Whether it's Corey Holcomb and his crew, Tariq Nasheed, the Black Authority. Why would these people ever converse with this fool in the first place? Why would they have ever had any sort of relationship with him? I mean, it's freaking Tommy Sotomayor. Did they not know who they were dealing with? Did they not know that they were dealing with the devil himself? I mean, did you hear the stuff this fool says? He's wishing death on people. He's calling for black people to be attacked, and black women are crying about him making fun of weaves. It reminds me of one of the greatest rules of white supremacy. One of the biggest rules of white supremacy is this. I'm not a racist as long as I don't do one thing. Do you know what the secret is? The reason why they've been able to do what they've done in the media and everything? Black people, including your civil rights so-called leaders, your civil rights failures, your civil wrongs leaders, did one thing, which this is basically what they did. I know it's going to blow a lot of people's minds. A lot of people's going to go over your heads and say, well, that's stupid. Listen closely. They pretty much did this. They said, listen, you're not really a racist unless you call people the N-word. Anything else is permitted. You can beat up a so-called black child at school as the school security guard. You can call people thug. You can use all these other sort of code words. You can say all types of just ridiculous things about black people. You can come up with fake, skewed statistics that are not accurate. You can put a black person on the air to say all sorts of nasty things about black people. So-called black conservatives, have them running their mouths on any media format and platform that you want. Just one thing. Just don't call me the N-word. That's basically what happened. That's why we ended up where we are at now. They literally traded in everything, all of their dignity, to just not be called the N-word. The N-word is the fighting word. That is the trigger word. That is the mind control word. That'll wake up the Manchurian candidate, or rather, well, put them in the sunken place, really. But as long as you don't say that, it's all good. You can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can harm my child. Just don't call us the N-word. And that's how we have fools like Tommy. Tommy is the conservative, pseudo-conservative, the neocon, who lives like a liberal but speaks like a conservative, who BS artist, who puts all this crap out there, and he can say what he wants because he's a black person who's whipping the Negroes. Was it Steven from the Django Unchained? He can whip on the Negroes because he's black, and he's doing it for massa, and it's all good, because you black people need to not get mad unless a white person says the N-word. And then they added to the plan, well, you black people say the N-word to listen to rap music, which is supposed to be an excuse for them to get away with it. But a lot of times they can't use that excuse because a lot of people don't fall for it anymore. Back in the 90s, a lot of people did fall for that crap. I mean, I like rap music, but I don't say the N-word. So am I included in that? I mean, you know, black people get lumped up into a group. We're not looked at as being individuals. We're looked at as being this monolith. And a lot of you black females have fooled yourselves into believing that you can be this separate group of black people, this special protected group. We're black females. We're different. That's just the Negro male that you got to worry about. But you see what happened to black conservatives, right? Black conservatives were like, listen, we're different than those other Negroes, but the only way that you can be a black conservative with any semblance of quote unquote power or influence is to basically say, hey, look, I don't F with them ninjas. Basically, white people have to validate you. Otherwise, you're just some ninja who's talking. All right, so that's what you black feminists don't understand, is that the only way for y'all to get any sort of power is to combine with black people in general, regardless of age or country of origin, gender, any of that foolishness, economic status. Stop building these walls and these barriers because you're just really complicating things. Because black people are going to move forward really soon. And part of the reason why is because a lot of black women have fooled themselves into believing that black men can't build black platforms, like I said earlier, but that's actually what's happening right now. They're just not talking about it. Because the black men who do things, do good and great things, don't sit around talking, just running their mouths about every little thing they're doing. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jason Black said that he made his documentary before he even asked for money. In other words, he was moving in silence. And the one thing that I can tell y'all is there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that you're going to be shocked when it happens. And a lot of these black feminists are going to be looking real crazy soon. I promise you that, because everybody, for one thing, black men are going to have their own as far as Tommy Sotomayor is concerned, he's a fringe idiot. He shouldn't even be included with other black men. That's why when that stupid list, that freaking ban list came out, everybody was like, what the hell is Harvey, aka Superboy, doing on there? What the hell is Jason Black, the documentary maker? What is Professor Truth doing on there? What is Tariq Nasheed doing on there? And some others, Black Gnostic Speaks and, you know, Jada Black. What are these people doing even on that list? What the hell do they have to do with anything? And the collective consensus was, well, Tommy's a special case. That mofo, everybody was like, well, we understand with Tommy. He ain't shit. I didn't hear anybody say, well, I don't understand how Tommy could make a list like that. Even his fans were like, well, I mean, Tommy is pretty controversial. He does go too far. Oh, man, my Jesus, I've been rambling. I usually don't make videos this long, my Lord. But yeah, Tommy put out this video. Oh my God, I wish I could remember what the title. It was something to the effect of dark-skinned hair hats, something. Let me go see if I can find it. Whoop, there it is. All right, so I found it, my Jesus. All right, so the title of the video is Dark-Skinned Hair Hats Verbally Attack at TJ Sotomayor. I think that's his Twitter account. That's gone now. Dark-skinned hair hats verbally attack at TJ Sotomayor on LA street corner. Basically, there were some black chicks out in the street talking to a non-black male. They were minding their own dang business, having a discussion with this guy. And Tommy starts, you know, videotaping them. And they did not want to be videotaped. They wished to be left alone, which they have the right to ask him to leave them alone. And he basically was like, you know, oh, I'm just trying to get some game. I'm just trying to get some game. You know, he starts trying to make a joke out of it when they asked, you know, for, you know, him to leave them alone. And he's like, you know, oh, you know, I'm just trying to learn some moves or whatever from this guy who's speaking to the women. He tried to play it off. And, you know, they weren't trying to hear that. I mean, he may have had the legal rights to videotape them out on the street, but, you know, they also have the right to be asked to be left alone. And he tried to flip the situation around. And like in the video, he's cussing them out. He's calling them whores or whatever. He's like, yeah, this is why nobody likes you, black whores. And it's like, dude, if Tommy Sotomayor was actually being harassed by them and he came at them that way and was calling them black whores, honestly, I wouldn't care. I mean, he would have been verbally defending himself. But they didn't say a darn thing wrong to him. And he tried to make himself into the pseudo victim. And if I can call out black women who pretend to be victims at times, like the woman in the Uber cab that said that she was going to say, you know, that man raped her, like falsely accused him. If I could call out her, or if I could call out white supremacy, then I can call out a black man who's pretending to be a victim when he's apparently the one that's harassing and assaulting people. In that particular case, you know, I'm just calling out wrong when I see it, basically. And the way that they handled the situation was phenomenal. You know, a lot of people wouldn't have had that much daggone patience with this clown. You know, I felt as if what he was saying to them was revolting. I mean, I sat up there and I watched the video. This is a couple of years or so ago, and I was just like, I think it was 2014 when the video was originally posted. So we're going on 3 years here. I can't remember which month that the video was posted. The video has since been taken down. I wish it was reposted. I wish that you guys could see it. Once again, if you find it, it's called Dark Skinned Hair Hats Verbally Attack at TJ Sotomayor on LA Street Corner. It's a prime example of why I can't mess with Tommy. Why? Oh, wow. Okay, I just found out when the video was posted. It was posted July 25th of 2013. So we're actually talking about almost 4 years. Excuse me. I knew at that point that I could never call myself a Tommy Sotomayor fan. You know, there were a lot of things that I disagreed with him about. And once I saw that video, I officially said, you know what? Screw this guy. It doesn't matter how much truth he tells. The fact that he harassed those ladies in the streets like that instead of minding his business, going around videotaping people, which is mad suspect. Like, who does that? Like, what type of person? I don't give a crap if it's a man videotaping woman, a woman videotaping woman, a man videotaping man, or a woman videotaping man, or any other sort of variation or whatever. I don't care. You just don't do that to people. And that's what you black feminists need to learn, that you just don't do certain things to people. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. Okay? It doesn't matter who's doing it and who they're doing it to. You just don't treat people that way. He was wrong for that. It was disgusting and I was pissed. But the main thing that offended me about Tommy Sotomayor harassing those women in the street is the fact that it wasn't even so much that he said what he said. That's why nobody likes you, black horse. Okay, that was offensive. Sure, I was offended when he said that crap. Now, I was upset, but I wasn't motivated yet. The part that made me want to chew out Tommy, pause, what made me want to debate this dude, what infuriated me, what truly bothered me was the fact that he tried to garner sympathy from his fans and viewers by saying, hey, everybody, do you see what they did to me? I mean, dude is such a freaking crybaby. It's just ridiculous. Like, how do you go up to people when you harass them and then turn around and try to pretend that they harassed you? I mean, he ethered himself. And the fact that he takes credit for terms like ether and stuff like that he never created, I mean, that's just another thing that I just can't stand. Let me want to read to you this petition from change.org. There's of course a link to it on my blog, and you know, I did not sign this petition, for the record. I also don't encourage people to flag Tommy. I feel as if he's someone we can use to our advantage. You know, he's an opportunist. Why not use him as an opportunity for us? You got to think smarter, black people. Banning Tommy Sotomayor won't do anything except for empower him, because he'll lose some of his freedom by having to get down with some conservatives, some white conservatives. But you're just going to make him rich real quick. If he's not rich already, I promise you, you're going to regret your decision to go after him the way that you're doing it. Making a change.org petition won't help anything. I remember there was one, I'm pretty sure it was change.org. It was up like maybe 3 years ago. And it's crazy because you have Tommy Sotomayor threatening people physically. You have Tommy Sotomayor posting images of underage dead black boys, and black women are crying about my weaves are being made fun of. And that's why your petitions and whatnot haven't worked. This dude's opinions are his opinions. He has freedom of speech. If you're going to go after somebody, you got to say that they did something wrong. Now, if you went after the fact, well, you don't have the passion to do that because you don't care about him mocking people's death and stuff like that. That doesn't, you know, that's not that big of a deal. It's my weave that bothers me. Like, you got to be freaking kidding me. That's why they're not listening to you. That's why he's still around. Those petty grievances don't mean anything in the real world. That's some stupid ninja stuff. That's just black folks acting like fools to people who are looking at this crap from the outside. So he makes fun of Weave, and you cry about it and say, we need to get rid of him. We've been upset for a long time about this. He's attacking us, and I feel like bobbing and weaving and boxing him in the streets because of what he said. You know, that this the reactions towards the stupid stuff that he says are much bigger than the reactions to the actual important stuff that he's saying. The stuff that you need to be paying attention to is the fact that he's wishing harm on people. And I heard him one time, you know, give out some woman's personal information on the air because she tripped him up in a discussion, you know, a debate or whatever. And she asked him some questions, and Tommy Boy could not handle it. He started crying. And he was like, oh yeah, whore, your phone number is blah, 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 or whatever he said to her. I can't remember what the name of the video was, but it was up on YouTube on somebody else's channel. And man, I wish, let me see if I can find it real quick. Damn it, I can't find it, Sally. But yeah, man, it was an amazing video. The things that he was saying, the fact that he went off on this woman because she asked him the wrong question, and he just lost his rabbit mind. It was actually hilarious because, well, it wasn't hilarious the fact that he put her personal phone number or whatever out there. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the fact that he lost it like that over a mere question, it was freaking hilarious. It's like, wow, this dude is really, well, actually, I shouldn't laugh at him. You know, this dude has some sort of a problem. Hey, shout out to Tommy. Anyways, before I get myself in trouble roasting Tommy, because that's not what this video is about. It's about critiquing him, not roasting him. I mean, he critiques people all the time, but I'm not here to eat their Tommy unless we're going to really debate. And then I can make shish kebabs out of this guy. But anyways, the change.org posting. Now, let me see. I don't see a date here. I don't know how long it's been up there. My Jesus. But the title is Remove All Tommy Sotomayor Videos from YouTube Now, and it's posted by Misogyny Exposed. Really, but what about misandry? Somebody needs to expose misandry, which is misogyny against men. That's not really ever discussed, no matter. I mean, honestly, Tommy Sotomayor is basically the monster baby, the Frankenstein that was created from all of the misandry that's been spewed towards black men for decades. Let's just be real here. Black men did not have the opportunity. Actually, I saw this one black guy in an old Jenny Jones episode from, I think, the 90s. Nostalgia. And back then, this one brother was trying to speak on what he thought about black women. And Jenny Jones just kind of kept cutting him off, if I remember correctly. And she really wouldn't let him speak. And she just basically made fun of everything that he said, even if he had a valid point. And, you know, unlike when black women speak about black men, even if there's like made up statistics or anything like that, like, oh, the black men are dead, gay, or in jail. Made up lies like that, which is, of course, pure BS. You know, the nasty things that are said about black men are just told to deal with it. And they're just told, oh, well. So if you have an issue with what Tommy Sotomayor says and what Tommy Sotomayor does, you're not going to, I mean, it's one thing if you have an issue like me, like as far as the extreme stuff that he says, but as far as his critiques about women and men, because remember, he critiques men as well. He's just expressing his opinion. If you can't handle his opinion, you know, as long as he's not breaking the rules, as long as he's not going too far with the BS that he adds to it, that crap, the part that ruins everything, because he actually has a pretty good message until he screws it up for himself, because he's a natural up. And that's the part of him I can't stand. That's the part of him I want to debate. Because there's nothing wrong with him expressing his opinions. It's just when he just gets stupid with it, then I'm like, okay, you know what? This guy needs to just, he needs to chill out. Not be silenced completely. Because the only thing, I'm telling you, the only thing y'all going to do is empower him. The change.org petition is called Remove All Tommy Sotomayor Videos from YouTube Now by Misogyny Exposed from San Francisco, California. Here's what she or he or this group of people, whatever, wrote. The misogynistic and racist vitriol spewed daily by the they use the T word. The misogynistic and racist vitriol spewed daily by the terrorists. Remember, I'm reading this. I'm not saying these are not my words. I am merely reading the petition for legal reasons. The misogynistic and racist vitriol spewed daily by the, quote, terrorist Thomas Jerome Harris, aka Tommy Sotomayor, in his YouTube videos and on his various YouTube channels, has created incalculable amounts of emotional, psychological, and physical harm against black women and girls. He is an irresponsible, malicious perpetrator of misogynistic and racist hatred and spreads negative and degrading messages, imagery, views, and stereotypes about black women on a daily, regular, and consistent basis. He has raked in a large sum of cash as a result, and Alphabet Incorporated and Google Incorporated should be ashamed of itself as a respective corporate entity. Ooh, that's a way to get their attention and get them on your side. Really? You're going to say that about the great companies, Alphabet Incorporated and Google? Shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. I love you. Anyways, to profit from the pain that he continues to cause others. We therefore want decisive action to be taken and for all his channels to be removed from YouTube. We, the undersigned, hold Alphabet Incorporated and Google Incorporated, as well as YouTube and its advertisers, responsible for providing a platform for this, there goes the T word again, for this terrorist. You guys got to be careful about using that word now. You don't want to get yourself sued for slander. Platform for this terrorist, remember, not my words, and his insanity to be spread around the world, which serves to purposely denigrate and demean black women and girls and black people in general. Woo, thanks for mentioning us at the end. Woo-hoo. I got a shout out. I'm black too, ninja. These corporate entities are, in fact, creating emotional and psychological harm against black women and girls by allowing his cesspool of violence and reprehensible diatribe to continue unchecked on their internet channels. His video content has escalated out of control and has now led to threats of physical violence by him on the street toward black women. Well, a black man was actually killed by a white supremacist that was allegedly a fan of Tommy Sotomayor's. So, you know, well, a black man actually got killed, but black women are complaining about the potential. This is just, and life goes on, you know. Well, for black women, life goes on. Even though that black dude actually died, but, you know. It is primarily because you, as a corporate body, have allowed him to say whatever he wants to say, no matter how hate-filled and violent, on your platform. See what I'm saying about black women? This has to be a black woman. That freaking word. And I tell you, I was going to flip my lid if I hear a black woman say platform one more time, my Jesus. I'm glad I'm reading this. Woo! I had to break my screen. If this insanity is allowed to continue, someone eventually will be harmed or killed. Well, ask that brother who got killed. I'm not blaming Tommy. I'm just saying that the guy was allegedly a fan of Tommy's. Alphabet Incorporated and Google Incorporated will have their hand in this, as they are the ones who have allowed his disgusting verbiage to continue for so long. Really, you're gonna, I mean, so what if he would have just posted it on his website? Would you go after the servers, the people who host the content and own the servers that it's posted on? And then if he went and got his own servers and put it on there, would you say the person who sold him the servers are somehow responsible? Everybody's responsible for their own actions, you know. So we need to not go blaming corporations for what this man is doing. You need to blame him. And if anybody went after black women because Tommy Sotomayor said so, then that's their fault. Let's be real with ourselves here. I'm not saying he wouldn't bear some sort of responsibility, but really, whoever actually commits the crime, commits the illegal action, or says something they have no business saying, you know, that's kind of, you got to go after that person directly. Well, Tommy said to do it. We're not 4-year-olds. We're adults here. So telling the law and telling people who have the power and the influence to be able to do something to him, hey, well, I blame him for the actions of other people, that's not going to go over well with them. It's just going to sound ridiculous. We therefore demand that all, in capital letters, of his videos be removed from your video platform. Say we go the f***ing word again. If I hear that word one more time, losing my mind, excuse me. We therefore demand all of his videos be removed from your video platforms immediately. We, as concerned citizens, understand how important freedom of speech is in a free society. However, we also understand the consistent dehumanization spread by this psychopath. What have I been calling Tommy this whole time? However, we also understand the consistent dehumanization spread by this psychopath. I'm reading it. I'm not calling him that for the record. Results in creating and sustaining violence against black women and girls, and serves to justify that a sustained level of violence be perpetrated against them as a terrorist threat. I love how they're turning into a black female thing. You gotta love it. But then again, this is misogyny exposed. We would like to believe that this is not the intention of this platform's use. We look to the executives of Google Incorporated and YouTube to become aware of the negative climate they themselves continue to create by providing a vehicle for years for Tommy Sotomayor to spread his sexist, racist, hate-filled, violent, psychotic, misogynistic, angry, anti-black woman rants, and we hold you responsible. We therefore demand that you take immediate action and remove all of his videos forthwith. Forthwith? Man, shout out to all the sixth grade vocabulary words. I mean, wow. Somebody over here writing petitions sound like Cannabis in 1998 wrote this mother. He's a rapper, for those that don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Anyways, my Jesus, the point is this, my Lord. So, what do we have here? Some angry black women upset at this clown, Tommy Sotomayor. And he definitely is a clown. And they're blaming everybody. Hey, you know, we blame the platforms for what he did as opposed to blaming him. Listen. The stupid stuff that Tommy Sotomayor says he should be solely blamed for. This is the thing. I'm telling you, y'all going after him the wrong way. Because now you're spreading the ammunition out to all these other people. And what they will come to find out if they investigate what this man has been saying is that there is nothing wrong with a lot, not all of it, but a lot of his content. The bulk of it is just a bunch of crap talking, which he's allowed freedom of speech. You have to focus on something specific that he said. And since there's a bunch of vague language coming from Ebony and coming from the change.org petition, you're not really saying, quoting video titles isn't crap. You got to show people, here's a link to a video. Look at this timestamp. This is what, you have to be specific. Because all of this vague crap, it doesn't mean anything. You're just saying, well, he says bad stuff. Well, what is he saying? You're actually just promoting him by talking about it. You know how I cited, for example, the dark skin hair hats video? Where I specifically said that he went and harassed women in the streets and then tried to turn it around and make it seem as if he was the one being victimized, and the fact that he's like, this is why nobody likes you black whores. Like I'm being specific about things that he said, the name of the video, he said this, and this is why I'm against it. You got to be specific about these things. It's like you got to hit the bullseye. That's the way you do it. They're just, this crap is all over the place with this anti-Tommy movement. And this is why it's been failing. Because you're not being specific. Can't believe I'm giving y'all the game. But anyways, what you black women don't understand is this. You guys teamed up with white supremacy, a lot of you. Teamed up with white people. Particularly white supremacists for many years, decades. You teamed up. And you wanted to have this quote unquote, this quasi gender war with black men. Because you figured that you would win. You were like, yeah, these white people that sterilized us in North Carolina up into the 70s are on our side. These white people who fed our babies to alligators, they're on our side. Yeah, they sure are. They sure is. It's black men are the problem. And you thought that you could be the head honcho, didn't you? Whether you realize or not, you need black men. You really, really do. Especially with this doofus that's in office right now. You really need us. And for more than just physical labor and sex and procreation and whatever else you think you need us for. You actually need us for our minds and our hearts. Which a lot of you claim that we don't have. But we are people. And you dehumanizing black men is going to come back to haunt you. Because whether or not you realize it, a lot of the black men who negatively critique black women actually love black women. Most of the black women who negatively critique black men hate black men. And that's the difference. And the one thing we've never seen in history is, despite the fact that black women have teamed up with white people and even white supremacy at times to go against black men collectively, like in large numbers, have never done that to black women, ever. It's looked at as like the mortal sin. But what you got to realize is this: when people are pushed into the corner and they feel like there's nothing else they can do, they will most definitely, resort to extreme measures. Black men have never teamed up with whites with the explicit purpose of going after the image of black females collectively. And I think that's going to happen soon. The way that black women went on this campaign, going on all these talk shows and everything in the 90s and putting out all these different statistics and all this other crap, just trying to ruin black men's image to bolster their own. And whether y'all realize it or not, actually black men have more ammo against you than you have against them. And what y'all don't understand is this, man. The reason why there's no black female Tommy Sotomayor that's able to talk a bunch of crap about black men and make black men look like fools is because black men have been thrown under the bus for so long that everybody's done heard it all. And the reason why everybody's paying attention to Tommy and these other black men who are talking crap about you is because it's something new. People have only heard for decades about how bad black men are and the evil things that these disgusting black male creeps do to black women, and they're the victims. And now it's at a point where, with these men saying what they're saying, the reason why it becomes so popular, the reason why a black man could put up a YouTube channel and within a few months or so get 10,000 subscribers, whereas black women who talk crap about black men might get a few hundred, because we don't heard it all. We understand black men have been beaten to the ground. They're worthless. They're nothing. Okay, we get it. What about you? Is what people are asking. And with people speaking up against black women, what we're noticing is that a lot of people were sitting back like, dang, I didn't know that black women were like this. It's like once the information is put in their face, it's actually new. That's why it's become so popular. Black men negatively critiquing black women, because black men were silent for decades. Black men were trying to be the silent, strong one. They were told, you don't have feelings. You don't have thoughts. You're just a stupid, ugly thing. You shut your mouth. You shut up, sit there, do what you're told. The black woman is God. She's always right. The black man ain't spit. You ain't nothing, just like your daddy, blah, blah, blah. That's what black men were taught for decades. And what black men are learning is that it's okay to have a heart. It's okay to have a brain. It's okay to express yourself. There's a lot of black men that can't even speak well. They speak like they're slow. And it's not that they're necessarily cognitively slow. They just speak like they're just stupid. And I noticed this for a long time. And I said, man, what is wrong with black men? Why do they speak like they're tards or something? Then I realized something. In the black home, the black boy is told to shut your mouth. That speaking up for yourself is a feminine trait. You're just allowed to say yes, ma'am, and shut your mouth. And silencing black men has caused the sleeping dragon to wake up and spit some serious fire. And I'm trying to tell y'all what's going to end up happening is a lot of this stuff that black men are saying, even though it's kind of like all over the place and it's seemingly mainly on YouTube, and it's just kind of sporadic and unorthodox, it's going to be refined. Just like the things that you guys have said about black men, where it went from black women just kind of spouting off at the mouth and then it turned into like academia. The same thing is going to happen with what black men are saying about black women, and you guys are not prepared for it. And I'm telling you this because it's going to psychologically damage you. And the reason why it's going to psychologically damage you is because a lot of black women have become bullies. And whether you realize it or not, is Tommy Sotomayor an idiot? Yes. Is Tommy Sotomayor a bully? Oh, absolutely. Is he a psychopath? That's definitely debatable. I mean, I've called him a lot worse names than that. I've actually called him those names to him. Like, I've told him, like, this is what I think about you, chump, but like I said, he doesn't debate with me. But what y'all don't realize is that Black women ain't all that. You might think that black men are pieces of crap, but the world looks at all of us as just being a big pile of poop. All of us. And you black women are so silly. You know, fooled yourselves and think you something special. And black men ain't spit. And the black woman is everything. You keep thinking that crap if you want to. That's not the real world, my dear. No, it's not, sweetie. Because the world looks at us all as being a big piece of poop. And then you'll say, well, that's because of black men. Guess what? Guess what? That's not why non-black people hate black people, because of black men. They hate you plain and simply because you're black. Period. It has nothing to do with black men and alleged statistics and crime. Shut up. It has to do with because you were born black. Period. Don't be stupid. Don't be naive, and don't fall for the tricks and traps. Get yourself some goddamn pride, and not black female pride, but some actual black pride. Because what happened to Venus Hottentot didn't happen because, what is her name? Sarah Bartman, if I'm not mistaken. What happened to her didn't happen because black men. And that separation between us is why we ended up with a clown like Tommy Sotomayor, parading himself around as if he's this super black. He think in his mind he's the king of black people. He's arrived. He thinks that white people kind of sort of like him, even though white supremacists use him. He's talked about on websites like Stormfront, which I've never seen black women try to go after. How many people have died that were members of that website? Hasn't it been like I'm pretty sure it's over 100 people. And I don't see black women saying crap about Stormfront. Ghetto gaggers. With the crap that they do there. Now that mess is degrading. There's some white guy right now with his you-know-what in some black woman's butt with his foot on her head, spitting on her face right now, sodomizing her. But that's not a problem. Tommy Sotomayor talking about weaves is more important. And the dude's wearing a Confederate flag t-shirt and they're videotaping it. Not a problem. Let's talk crap about Tommy. The one thing that this quasi-gender war has exposed is that black people collectively, particularly black females in America, do not have their priorities set straight. And this is why the world is laughing at us collectively. Because of foolishness like this. Is Tommy Sotomayor joke in your town like 911? Absolutely. I totally agree with that. But if you're going to go after a person, you got to go after them for a real reason. Making fun of weaves and stuff like that and claiming that somebody may attack you someday. Even though a black man actually was killed by somebody who was allegedly a Tommy fan, but you ignore that, which would actually be a potentially valid point. But his death means nothing to you because he was just a black man. You sound like a white supremacist. And a black female with a white supremacist mind state in the real world is a joke. In so-called Blackistan, you might seemingly have a semblance of power or influence. In reality, outside of so-called Blackistan, which is basically a glamour, which is basically a mirage, but outside of so-called Blackistan, a black female with a white male supremacist mentality is the biggest joke and insult. But you don't really realize that because you're like, well, at least we're better than black men. No. According to the world, you're not better than black men. Wake up. You need to look around at what's going on in the world. And to tell you the truth, black men are honestly being held back in America. Anywhere, listen, there's how many black billionaires on this planet? 8. According to Wikipedia, 8 of them. In the year 2014, that's what Wikipedia says. There were 8 black billionaires, 2 of which were black women. 2. The other 6 were black men. How many black billionaires are there in America? 1. That's Oprah Winfrey. And she was helped by you know who. And, put it together. Why are there no other black billionaires? And why is it specifically a black female in America? America hates straight black men, whether you want to admit it or not. And the funny thing about it is a lot of black women know this. And like, yeah, of course they're hated. They should be. Screw it. That's a very dumb way to view the world that you live in. And that's why you're where you're at right now. That's why black people are collectively where they're at right now. There's a lot of things that could be done, but black people are going to have to work together. It's either work together or die. And the belligerent attitude, the vitriol and the hatred towards black males by a lot of black females is basically a lot like a lot of white supremacist males. If you think about it, you have a lot of racist white men who hate Jews, they hate blacks, they hate gays, they hate everybody. Every daggone body. I mean, they're the worst of the worst and the curse of the curse. You know? These men will tell you flat out, look, we hate these N-words, we hate these Jews, you know, the Jews got all the money, the black people are committing all the crimes, blah, 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 us nice, sweet Christian white people, blah, blah, blah. And then if you ask them, like, okay, dude, so since you hate black people, Jews, gays, everybody else, right? And you want a straight white male world, why not team up with the black people since they don't have any resources, at least to get to the money that you claim the Jews you hate so much have, since you say that they're at the top of the pyramid, right? They'll never do that. They would team up with a gay person before they, or a Jew to go against a black person, before they would ever team up with a black person to go against anybody. They'll say that the gays have all the political power in the world, the Jews have all the political power as well as the financial power, and black people don't have anything. So why not at least team up with black people for sheer numbers? And that's because their hatred towards black people completely surpasses their hatred for anything else. And it's like, well, black people don't have spit collectively. You know, net worth is spit. So, you know, what black women's net worth, I think allegedly is like $5. Black men's net worth, I think it's like $6,000. White people's net worth is, I think, over $100,000. Or I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's a significant gap. And black people are looking so stupid because you have this enemy, which is not white people at all whatsoever, but white supremacy, that hates you so much that they will team up with their mortal enemies that are allegedly crushing them just to have a chance to finish you off. And y'all arguing and fighting over nothing. That's why I don't participate in the gender war, because I don't take black men or black women seriously collectively. And I look at you the way that the world looks at you, as being one group. You're one group. You're not separate. You just need to love each other. As hard as that may sound. And believe it or not, you need to actually love Tommy. As much of a clown as he is, I still love Tommy. I understand that he's just like my bad cousin who can't stay out of trouble. He's like my degenerate cousin that I see ruining his life. You know, he's been to jail. You know, he's sleeping around with a lot of women, bragging about it. He's making money in a dirty way. I don't particularly care for his lifestyle, but he's still family. You know? He's our brother, whether y'all like it or not. Anyways, this is all my opinion. What do I know? I need to stick to talking about reality TV and big butts because I'm ignorant. Not ignorant, but I'm ignorant. Not right, ignorant and indignant. Let me know what you guys think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine, Meat Magazine 7 on Google+, Meat Magazine blog on Instagram. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you can be notified when new videos are posted. And Tommy, man, if you ever debate me, man, I'm telling you right now, you mother...